I thought I would give you a little update on the garden, and this is the main tomato bed. It's doing quite well. I did have a small infestation of tomato hornworms. I picked 7 out of the tomatoes on plants on this bed. We did have some yellowing of some leaves here because we got some really high heat temperatures. And they just had a hard time coping with that extreme spike of heat. But other than that, they're doing pretty well. Lots of blooms still, making tomatoes. Lots of blooms. Making tomatoes. So I'm pretty happy with them. They sure taste good. These are the homestead tomatoes. They are just excellent. They have, you can see, they just fall over the side, which is pretty much what all of my tomatoes do when I put them in this bed. Because remember, this bed is 32 inches tall. So they kind of go up and then they kind of fall over. And that's okay. Doesn't seem to hurt them any. And if we go over here, there's my collard plant. This is, it's a merit collard, invented by somebody in California at the Merit College. And it is a perennial collard. And I won the seeds from a channel called Plant Abundance. And it's doing very well. In fact, something is having some munches on it, but that's okay. It's doing great. So I'm real pleased with it so far. And some flowers next to it. We've got some wildflowers there. And if you see some little specks of pink, those are 4 o'clocks that some birds planted for me. My neighbor's growing them, and I thought this would be a good spot back here for that. Please excuse all the overly tall grass. It has invaded, and I just have not had time nor energy to get out here in the heat to deal very well with it. So, don't know when I'll get that taken care of, but I will at some point. And let me take you over to the second bed behind the tomatoes. This one looks a little sad. In this one are some pepper plants that I bought on the half price about a week or so ago. They were looking a little sickly. They still look a little sickly. Now this one is well, don't let me tell you. This one is a purple beauty bell. Oops, sorry about that. Purple beauty bell, and this one's coming along quite nicely. I've got a second one, and it's doing okay. The two, back out. Whoops, wrong way. Back out. I'm still learning this camera. The two in the center that you can barely see are the sweet peppers, sweet Italian peppers. And there was 2 on one of them, and we ate those. They were really good. The one closest to me here doesn't even have any leaves left. They just kind of fell off. The other one's hanging in there. I'm just kind of hoping maybe they'll come back to life. And then I've got 2 jalapenos. This one's kind of tall and skinny, but it seems to be coming back. And then this one, where are you? There it is. This one is short and stubby, but it's got tiny little leaves, so maybe it'll come back too. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, the rest of the bed is green beans. Now, there's still a few blooms here and there. The leaves are looking great. They're not really producing much of anything. I don't know if they're just not getting pollinated or what's happening. But it's gotten so hot that they're kind of fading. The ones in the other bed have definitely faded. They're pretty much done. I'm leaving what beans are on there for seed. That's pretty much where we are with this, because I wouldn't get enough off of them to do much of anything with. So I'm just going to let them go to seed, make seed. And that'll be fun. I'll turn around. There's the tomatoes from the other direction. And they're a little spindly looking. They've been through another hot day, so they haven't sucked up enough moisture yet. They got a really good drenching last night. I watered everything really well last night. They're just, you know, the heat takes it out of them. And it's usually a dry heat. But there's a few tomatoes in there getting right. Bunch of blooms and some little ones in there. So those are doing well. Here's the other beans. And as you can see, they're pretty much on their way out. They're not doing very well. They're not really blooming anymore. If there's any beans left, I'll let them go to seed. When I get ready to plant in another month or so, I'll go ahead and pull these out and put them in the mulch pile, whatever's left. This bed is going to have crowder peas in them. My friends gave me some seed from ones that they grew last year. So I'm going to try some crowder peas and see how they do, because they were pretty yummy. Okay, here is the wild tomatoes. And they have, I hope that comes out now, they have just gone berserk, as they usually do. Again, we had some yellowing of some leaves due to some high heat we had, over 100 for about a week. And then after that, it's not been too bad. It's still in the 90s during the day and dropping in the 70s at night. So not bad. But as you can see, they have a bunch of tomatoes. I'm picking probably 6 to 12 per day off of the 4 little plants that are in there. So we're doing well with the wild tomatoes per usual. They always do well. I did get 2 tomato hornworms off of that bed. It's been 3 days. I have not seen any more. So I guess we're past their stage of attack. I certainly hope so. And since we're looking at the garden, I don't know how well you can see that. That's our crepe myrtle tree, and it's fully in bloom. Beautiful pinkish purple blooms. I just love it. I am trimming this tree to make it more into a tree, or a tree clump, I guess I should say. I did have the tops of them. I don't commit crepe myrtle, as it's called. They need to be a tree. That's what they're meant to be. So I just trim back anything that would whack us on the head when we're mowing. Pretty much it. And let me zoom back out. And we'll spin over here. And that's the peach tree. Oh, Buttercup would like to say hello. Buttercup, say hello. Oh, she says, no, you waited too long. I'm leaving now. Okay, be that way. Okay, our poor peach tree. It's still hanging in there. If it lives past this year, I will be very, very surprised because it's had those borers. and that will take it down. It had quite a few peaches on it. The birds got them. They were very small, very hard, and the birds got them for moisture, which is fine. That's just fine. Okay, let me walk over here without stumbling. And this poor section this is the blackberries. There's actually 3 blackberry bushes in there. There's one on each end. Those have already put out. We got 10 pounds of blackberries on those. There's one in the center which grew up straight and tall. That one was one that I thought had died but didn't. So I just left it. And so it's a different variety. That one is kind of an everbearing. It will bear repeatedly through the season. It has not done it until here recently, but it is putting out fruit. Looks like I need to pick a few. It's not going to put out very many, so I'm probably going to have to just eat them, which is fine by me. But it is putting out fruit. It is blooming. There's more up there. These are blackberries. They are all thornless blackberries. The 2 on either end that are shorter and kind of branching over to the ground are washitas. Oops, backward. There we go. And then the tall one in the middle, I can't remember the name of it to save my life. I'd have to go back through my journal and see what it was called. But they're all doing well. My plan is to build some more boxes and excuse all the tall grass. My weed eater I'm having some issues with. It looks like we've got to order a new battery for it. Because there's 2 batteries and neither one's holding a charge. So I'm kind of stuck until I can get a new one. Anyway, boxes are 2 foot by 4 foot. At least that one is. And they're about, I don't know, 16, 18 inches tall maybe. And I'd actually like to, so let me go back out. This is along a chain link fence. And I would like to line this whole section, because that far left area there, that starts the gate. So this whole section, I would like to put in beds of blackberries and have all blackberries, because I just love them. So that's pretty much the back garden. Looks like we have a volunteer thing over there. I'm not sure what that is. Might just kind of let it, looks kind of like raspberries, blackberries. Yeah, that's blackberry leaves. Let me see. Is that one that just fell over? Oh, yep, that's just one that fell over. It's got buds. There are blackberries galore. Okay, this is between the house and the garage. And Dad's planted the cannas down either side. And somehow we ended up with a wild tomato plant over here in the corner. My guess would be a bird pooped it out. I have no idea. But I have pulled one tomato off of it. It's got some blooms that may help to keep it producing during the high heat, because this little strip through here only gets direct sun for about an hour to 2 hours in the morning. The rest of the time it's in shade. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Now the other side over here are more cannas, irises, and a whole lot of weedy grass. But let me see if I can zoom in. There it is. Can you see that? The sun's shining on it, so it's a little hard to see. I've got 3 Texas Star flower plants, and the tall one's pretty much done blooming, looks like. But this little new short one has a beautiful red bloom. It's not all the way open. They'll open up like a hibiscus. It's a cousin to them, I think. And then further over, there's another one. And they're all red. Don't have any white ones. Would like to someday. Maybe I'll order some seeds one day. And the cannas are pretty much done blooming. There we go. And then over here, at the corner of the garage, there's some more irises down there. And there is a forsythia bush in amongst that grassy stuff there in the center. And then this tall bush that I don't know what it is. I have no idea. I have tried to find it, and I can't find it, what it is. It's got pretty little leaves. It's pretty, it gets these tiny little flowers on it that you don't even notice. And then it has these berries, reddish orange berries that come up on it. They're mostly gone now because the birds eat them. They just love them. But I have no idea what this plant is. But it's gotten quite tall. It's over 6 feet tall at this point. So, and it's kind of branching out. But I like it. I like anything that, keeps blooming. And then they've spread. They used to be just at the corner. Now they've spread. And these are crinums. C-R-I-N-U-M. Crinum lilies, which I was very happy to see in my parents' yard. I do like them. These are pretty much this pale white. It's white with these pale pink, and pardon my mess on the back porch there. Pale pink veins on the inside. And I'm sorry they're not blooming at the moment. They've closed up for the night. But they're just gorgeous. And I had some when I lived in Humble, Texas, which is outside Houston, and when I moved to Porter, which was just about 10 miles up the road from there. I had some. They were different. They were more pink, very much more pronounced pink. And when I moved from Humble, I tried digging some up from where I was to take with me. I was successful in doing that. But let me tell you something about crinums. They're deceiving. I have these huge, long, strappy leaves that are, 4, 5, 6 feet long on them. But if you go to dig one up, start about a foot out from where you think the bulb is. They are bulbs. Or maybe it's a rhizome, but I think it's a bulb. The bulb and the roots on this sucker, they're like the size of a basketball sometimes. I dug one up, literally it was the size of a basketball. They can grow huge the longer you leave them. But they seem to do well here. I know they did well in the Houston area because it's so humid and gets so much rain. Why they're doing so well here, where we don't get that much rain, I have no idea. But it likes this corner. is very happy. And I like it.